Okay, this next session in building your website is on building and sorting your graphics and pictures. And this is your initial graphics and pictures just to prepare to put your website together. And keep in mind throughout all these videos and through this process of building this website that you're not locked into anything. This is to get it up, get it put together, get it properly optimized for search engines and readers, and to have a well-built website when you get finished. But once you get done with this process, the website is yours, and you can go in and do anything to it you want to do to it. You can change your headers, you can change your design, you can change colors, you can move things around, and so nothing is locked in. You'll be building and saving your website as you go. So anytime you want to go in and fool with it as you build it, or even after you get it done, you'll be able to make any kind of adjustments you want to make with it. So, but today we want to sort and size your pictures. Talk to you about doing that, what it'll take to do it both now and in the future. So number one here is in sorting and sizing your pictures. You can do this with any image viewer and editor. The one that I use, as I've mentioned, is Faststone Image Viewer. That's one that I use very often on this computer. You have seen it in action here, and it's just a very good image editor. It's one that 98% of people building websites, it's the only image editor they'll ever need. And it's free. It's a Windows program, and of course there are all kinds of comparable programs for both Windows and Macintosh. So, but Faststone Image Viewer is the one I use, and that's for general editing. So you'll need some kind of graphics program, or not a graphics program, but an image editing program set up on your computer, and Faststone is the one that I use. I also use Faststone Image Resizer, and I want to just recommend this also. It's also free from the same company, and it's just, I mean, it's just tremendous. If you have a lot of pictures on your website, or if you're going to be putting in lots of photo galleries and things like that, I built the website for Fort Smith Taekwondo Academy here, and very often I put pretty large image galleries up, and in just about 7 or 8 minutes I can create an image gallery on a page on that website in about 7 or 8 minutes with 100 pictures in it. And a great deal of that has been due to Faststone Image Resizer. I can take a folder on my desktop of any size and put in 100, 150 pictures, however many. Go to Faststone Image Resizer, import those pictures into this, make a couple of setting adjustments in Faststone, and it will resize every one of those images to a size that's manageable and that can be uploaded and can be viewed on your website. So both of these are things that I highly recommend. If you don't already have an image viewer and an editor that you're using, I would strongly recommend this one. And Faststone Image Resizer is wonderful for this type of web building. So that's a bulk resizer. So I would recommend both of those for that. And sorting and sizing your pictures is simply just a matter of you can go into your website build folder that we made here, and in each one of these where you're going to put your articles, if you know, when you know what the title of your articles is, like in in the gibberish folder here, whatever pictures I had to go with this article, I would put in this folder here, so that they're all sorted, so that when you get ready to build your website and you're putting up each article, with article 2, whatever the title of it would be here. The article would be in this folder, and the pictures that would go on that page with the article would be in this folder. So you can do it all at once, and you've got everything together. So sorting your pictures on the front end is pretty important, and will save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration. So whatever pictures that you have right now, or whatever pictures you gain over the next few days as you get ready to put your website together and build it, you want to sort and you want to size and sort your pictures just like I'm talking about here, and get them ready so that as you build each page, your articles and your pictures are together. Next is you're probably going to want to build a header. I'm teaching how to build a header with this in this program here, because if you're building a static website, you're going to have a header. Your header background can be built, and I'm just going to show you just very quickly how that can be done. that can be done in PowerPoint or other presentation graphics, as I mentioned. And I'm going to bring up PowerPoint here right quick. I've just got a blank screen in front of me here. And this is really simple, and it makes very nice looking headers if you want to make one in PowerPoint. And again, if you have something else you want to use, that's perfectly okay, but this is PowerPoint 2007, and this is an example of the way that it can be done. Go up here to Insert, to Shapes, and just go to Rectangle here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to left click on the screen with my mouse, hold it down, and drag it up and across the screen. And as you can see, when I release it, that creates a rectangle right here on my screen. Now this can be formatted in any way you want to format it. I'm going to right click on it, go down here to Format Shape, go to Line Color because I'm going to get rid of the line around it, and then I'm going to go to Fill, and you can fill the thing with any color that you want to fill it with, or you can do a gradient fill where you've got different gradient preset gradients over here. You can fill it with a picture. If you want to fill it with a picture, there's a number of different textures and pictures you can put it in. You can fill it with over here. Slide background fill, but that's not normally something you're going to mess with. A picture or gradient fill here is what you're normally going to use. You can insert it from a file here if you want to bring a picture that you have on your desktop or on your computer somewhere. You can actually put that in this header. But what most people are going to do is they're either going to fill it with some kind of solid color to start with, or they're going to do a gradient fill. So just for the purposes of what we're doing here, let's just do this nice kind of a blue and white gradient fill here and just leave it at that. Now this is what I've just done. It just simply created the background shape and color for my website header. And so now what I'm going to do is I want to go up here and I want to go ahead and put text in it. And there's something here that's important to know, to understand, and that's to make the header a single picture. Now that's down here on my mind map a little bit, but it's important that you make the header a single picture, so, and that it's not a bunch of different parts when you're trying to insert it in your website. So that's what we're going to do here. So what I'm doing next under Insert here, I'm going to insert a text box here. I'm going to insert text into my header. Is my site. That will be my my site title for the purposes of this presentation here. You can go up and you can bold this. You can make it any size you want to. You can change it in here to, I'll change it to that Algerian text right here. Now in this layout right here, you can insert anything you want to insert in this header. Text, you can insert pictures, you can insert anything you want to. Now you don't want to clutter them up, but you can put anything in here you want to put in it. For this presentation, I'm just putting in the site title right here, which is normally going to go in your header, and then I'll put a little tagline in here that's just kind of a provocative little thing, or a little snippet here. This is my awe-inspiring, if I could type, tagline. And I'm going to put that in there, and I kind of like to offset taglines and just kind of put them out here and put them in italics. And so I've got my site title and my tagline down here. Again, you can put images, you can overlap several images over here, you can fade them in and out and make them transparent, whatever you want to do. But for this, just wanted to show you how you can make your header in PowerPoint or some other type graphics program. So I've got my background and shape here for my header. I've got my title included and a tagline. So this is going to be my header for my website. Now obviously what I got here is a PowerPoint presentation, and I don't need that for my header. I need a picture. So I'm going to left click again over here to the left of the assembly that we just made, drag it all the way down to the other side and let go of it. And what that's going to do is going to outline everything in this assembly that we've just made. Now that's 3 different parts right now, but if you go up here, you see this little right up in here, and right click, didn't get that, right click, I'm going to go down here, you'll get a little drop down box that says save as picture. So I'm going to save as picture, and what PowerPoint is going to do when I save this is it's going to save this as a picture, a single picture. It's going to save this assembly we've just made. So I'm going to title that header I'm going to save it as a JPEG. There's different formats you can save it in, but for simplicity's sake, we're going to save it as a JPEG file. Now on my desktop, I have created the folder there that I'm not on my desktop. If I have saved this website build folder here, and what I'm going to do is go over here and just make another folder within that one. And so this is what you want to do throughout this process. Every time you want to save something or sort something, you want to put another folder in your website folder that you've saved to your home screen on your computer. So this is going to be site graphics. That'll be a general folder that I'll use for site graphics, and that's where I'm going to save the header as a picture. And after I put save, PowerPoint has now saved this assembly as a single picture in that website build folder under site graphics. There it is right there. Now, when I double click on this, it's going to come up in my default graphics program or in my default picture program, which is FastStump. And there it is. Now, that's what my header will look like. Now, it's too big. It's very large in my screen here. So I'm going to right click on it and go to Edit. And again, with any graphics program or presentation program, you can do this with an image. I'm going to resize it. It's at 1477 pixels here by 239. Now, what any program will generally have is something that says something like this: preserve aspect ratio. If you uncheck that, when you adjust the width, it will not adjust the height, and it'll scrunch it up and make it look weird. What you want to do generally is keep that checked, so that as I change the width, it'll change the height proportionately. So I'm going to change the width from 1477 pixels to 1000. I'm going to click OK, and it downsizes my header to what looks to me to be the right size for a nice website, at least to begin with. So at that point, I'm going to save it as header right where it is, and a resized version of it. And I now have the header for my website that I've built in PowerPoint. And that's the way you would do it in PowerPoint. And that would be similar in other graphics or presentation program. If you want to use something like PowerPoint and you don't have it, you can use OpenOffice, which is free. Very large, extensive program, and it is free. Or you can use OpenOffice Draw, or you can use Paint, or you can use any kind of program that will allow you to edit images. So that's how you make one in PowerPoint or other presentation graphics. Now, the header background also comes in pre-built programs. Don't go out and buy a ton of header stuff. You really don't need to do that. There's a program called Xheader, and then there's a pro version of it also if you decide you want to buy all of the built templates and get to use all the built templates in it. Xheader itself is free, and in Xheader you have access to, I forget how many, maybe 100 or so headers that you can use that don't have a watermark on them. In the pro version, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So what I've got here is just the simple Xheader program, and I'm going to show you just what you can do with that and how to build a header right quick here. This is the Xheader opening screen right here, and I'm going to go up here to New, and it's going to ask me load from the template library or create a blank header. You can create a blank header just kind of like you did in PowerPoint, except it's not quite as easy in here. It's actually easier in PowerPoint. But to load a pre-existing header, you want to go over load from the template library. So I'm going to click on that, and it'll load the images in the template library, or it'll kick me back over here to, there it is. Now, as you can see, this has got a bunch of watermarks on a lot of these. But if you go down here and say, for instance, the culture and heritage on the first line up here, there are some really nice looking headers that you can use, and these are free. You don't pay a cent for these. Then you get over to the others, and they're going to be watermarked. There's design and graphics here that are very good, and there's a number of these you can use, and these are all suitable for a website that you can use. Education and learning, there are some that you can use in that venue. Some of them that are some free ones there. Families, again, there's some free ones here that you can use till you get down to the ones. So there's a lot of headers that you can use in Xheader without buying the pro version. We're going to go back up here to design and graphics and just simply, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's just do one that's really cool here. Let's go to culture and heritage over here just for the fun of it, just because they've got some nice looking ones. And you go in here and you just pick any one of these you want to pick and double click it. And it will open it up on this design screen. So this would be a header for a website right here before it's got anything in it. Now this is just like any other graphics program. You can bring, you can pull pictures up into it, you can put text in it, you can put anything you want to put in it. But obviously it's already designed. So just to put text in it, you would put, "This is my site," just like I did in the other one over there. And just click over, just click on the graphic over here, and it will put it wherever you click. Now, you want to, of course, you're going to want to put this somewhere where you're going to be able to see it, and you can adjust the colors on it down here. So, and you can also adjust all of the various font styles and so forth down here. You can resize it down here, make it very large, make it too large. And then once you get it made, you can move it around. If you wanted to change it to blue, or wanted to change it to this color right here, and move it up in here, you can do it that way. So in any case, what we're going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and make it big enough for it to mean something over here, and I'll make it in dark blue. Actually, I don't like it in dark blue. I'll just go ahead and make it in black for right now. This is my site, and you would do it just like I did this, the one I did a while ago. If you wanted to put a tagline in it, you could. You can do it any way you want to do it. So, but this is just this is X header. You can have a beautiful header made this way. And so I'm gonna go up here and save, and I'm gonna save that as a JPEG file. Again, now it gives you the opportunity to come up here and pick the quality that you want, and you'd think, well, why wouldn't I just pick the best one? Well, you wouldn't pick the best one necessarily just because it's 100 KB. It's going to be a large file, and it will slow down the loading time of your site. But you can look at it and you can see most people can't tell the difference between these two, Excellent and Superb. But Excellent brings your file size down to 39.7 kilobytes. That's the one you want to get. No sense making your header slow your site down. You want your site to be as fast loading as possible without sacrificing quality, and going from Superb to Excellent does that. And in these, they look so good, you can even come down here to Very Good. But for the purposes of this, we'll go to Excellent, double click on it, and we will save that now as a JPEG file, just like I did the one from PowerPoint. We'll save it as a JPEG file over here in the website build folder under site graphics, and I'll just name it my site header and save it. Now I'm going to downsize that, and I'm going to go over here to the folder again, and there it is in your folder right up next to the one we made in PowerPoint. Now I'm going to double click it, and there it is. And this, and the really nice thing about these is they're already sized. This is already sized. You can upsize it, downsize it. It is now saved as a single picture. So you can do anything you want to do with any other picture with this. But as you can see, just going in there, picking that header, putting the text in there, you have a very nice looking header that you can use. So XHeader is a very good program to download. It's free. You can use those blank designs, or you can use some of the headers available in there, and it'll give most people anything they're ever going to need in a site header. Along with PowerPoint, you can make just about any kind of header that you can imagine. So that's the way you make your headers, and that will give you a lot of options as you make your design. And again, you can put any one of these headers on your website right now, and 2 weeks later, just go right in. If you don't like it, decide you don't like it, you can go in and you can change it and fix it and redesign it, and do it in a very, very short amount of time. So it's not going to hurt anything. But that's the way you can make your headers and have a lot of options doing so. You're making your header a single picture, which we did with both of those, and you're going to name your header with site keywords. Now, I just put the header and my site header here, but when you get ready to put this actually in your website, you want to make this something that represents your site. If my site is about concrete countertops, I want to put concrete countertops header. The reason I put that in there is because the name of this file will be in the HTML language, the programming language of your web pages and your website. That's what search engines are going to read. Search engines are going to come in, robots are going to come in, and they're going to read all of your site. They're going to read all the text on your site and everything that it can read on your site, and it will see that header. It won't see the graphic, but what it will read is this text that is the file name. So having the site title or the keywords in your header is kind of important, in that it adds one more piece of information that a search engine can come along and read that and rank you well for it. So you want to put your keyword in your header. All right, placing that header in a folder, and we've got that done. Building your site graphic and blocks, you can go over and do that in PowerPoint just like we just did. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that. But you know, if you've got let's say you've got a web page. I'm just going to build something that's a representation of a web page. Let's say this is your web page. Let me go in here and do something so it's not gross. This is your web page, and it's this shape, which is a page shape. And let's say in that web page you have designed a header, and here's your header within. Sorry. Here is your. There we go. Okay, I'll try this one more time. You've got your header built, and your header is within your web page right here. And you've got your footer in your web page down here, just your little footer with your little bit of information about the copyright and all that kind of stuff that comes on footers a lot of times. And you've got some text built in here. Let's just say you've got some text built in here. Let me drop this down to about 11. Kind of like the gibberish site that I made a while ago, wasn't it? And you've got some text built into your site here. And let's say you have a title up here. I'm not trying to oversimplify this, but let's say there's a title right here. I imagine that's words right there. And you have various things in here. But let's say over here, let's say that over here on this side, you want to really bring people's attention to something, and you want a highlight box over here that you can put highlights in and draw people's attention to certain things that you're going to have in it. So what you can do is you can just simply come up here in PowerPoint, and you can make a shape like that, and you can make it any size you want to make it. You can go down here and you can format that shape just like we did a while ago. Go to line color, no line, go to fill, and you really want to get people's attention here. So you decide you want to go in here and do something like this right here. And up at the top of it, you want people to notice it. So you're going to name it highlights, and because of the color, you want to go in here and you want to change the color of the text to yellow. You're going to downsize it a little bit to make sure it fits your shape. And again, you're doing this all in PowerPoint. I'm not going to try to do it perfect. Now, here's what you've got. You've created this shape right here. You've created this shape. Now you can do it just like you did your other one. You can go in here and highlight it all and go down here to save as picture. Save as a JPEG file. It's up here with in your folder where you're keeping your site graphics, and that's the highlights box. Now, I know you thought I was going to move it over in PowerPoint, but you got to remember this is a web page. This is not a we're playing like this is a web page, not a PowerPoint presentation. So now what I want to do is since I want my highlights box in this spot right over in here, I'm going to go up here to Insert Picture. I'm going to go to my desktop, to Website Build folder, to Graphics, and click on Highlights, and look where it comes. Right up here into my box, or into my web page, and you can insert that as a picture in your web page. You just created your highlights box in PowerPoint, just like you did that header a while ago. And you can create all kinds of shapes right here within PowerPoint. But if this was a web page, you'd be building, and you want a highlights box, so you go make it in PowerPoint, and you just insert, you save it as a picture, and you insert it just like any other graphic. And then you can come along and you can type into it. You can just type your text into it. You can type whatever you want to type into it. So that's the way you can create a highlights box for your website. So those are basics of doing just about everything you'll need to do to have your pictures, your header, your sizing, building blocks, highlight blocks, and things like that for your website. So these are the things that you want to do right now. Go ahead, pull together any pictures you have, or if you're going to do this over the next few days, pull together those pictures, get them resized the way you want them, get them sorted into folders. You can use PowerPoint, as you've seen, to create your header. You can use Xheader, which I would suggest you get, even if you don't plan on using it this time. I'd get it anyway because it's free, and it's got some really great header graphics in it. Make the header a single picture once you get it made. Save it as a JPEG file. Name the header with site keywords for search engines, and place the header in a folder. And then build yourself some site graphic blocks. Now, you don't have to do that right this minute. You can kind of wait to see how you want to design your website, because I think you saw how easy it was to build that in PowerPoint. So in the process of getting your income producing website built, your 2-week website built, this is the next step in sorting and sizing your pictures, building your header, and just getting familiar with your graphics and pictures and things that you're going to need to design your site. So go ahead and get that done, and then move on to step number 6, which will be building your site with what you see is what you get Web Builder 8. I'll talk to you soon.